What's up, vape fam? Hope everybody's doing good. Birdman, I'm doing good. Got the Turnstone. I do not have the Emperor, just because I'm not huge on RTA, so I've been holding off, kind of just to hear what everybody says about it. But Turnstone, I will have a review up here in a few days. For that one, I really, well, that ruined the review, but I dig it. I will say I really dig it, but it's not perfect. But Early Bird is doing some amazing stuff. Like, I was shocked. The Turnstone's the first thing I've gotten from them, mainly because it's been RTAs and Boro and just not my thing usually. But the Turnstone, yeah, it's a lot higher quality than I expected. I'll say that. But I'll leave the rest for the review whenever it hits. But tonight what we're doing is RTAs, which is weird for me because there's only a handful of RTAs that I use regularly. I will say we built up the Bonza RTA a few streams ago. I use that thing pretty regularly. I think at the time I was kind of like, well, this is pretty good. It wicks amazingly well. And that was really it. I was like, it's got decent flavor, but the more I used it, kind of got it to wick to where the flavor was even better on the thing. Use it in single coil, which I thought was really good. Normally with RTAs, I kind of dig single coil more than dual coil sometimes, depending on the RTA. But I usually lean towards single coil. With the Bonza, either or, but the single coil is amazing. So is the dual coil setup for it. So I'm highly impressed with that one. I should probably do a review for that one at some point, whenever I have time. All right. See who's all in chat. Tim, what's going on, brother? MTL HC, Gaming Vapor. Hey, what's going on? I don't know if I've seen you in here before. OG Hatman, if I haven't, welcome, sir. Dion Troy, what's going on? Of course, Birdman. Neil Pitts, what's going on, brother? Hungry Hippo. And I think that's about it at the moment. Yeah, we're going to build up. We're going to build 3 RTAs, and then we're going to build another one, but we're also kind of going to do a review for it. So, had a review all filmed for the Blaze MTL RTA. Had a storm come through, knocked out our power, not for very long at all. But when I went to go edit everything together, yeah, it was almost all completely gone. It's kind of weird what all got deleted with that kind of power surge that we had there. Turnstone, also that whole entire review got deleted. I hadn't started editing for the Turnstone, anything like that. I just filmed pretty much everything for it. Had not gotten to edit it at all, but it was all gone. So decided I will refilm the Turnstone because I want to have a full-blown regular filmed review for that one. But for the Blaze MTL RTA, figure we'll just do it live. So we'll build it up. We'll look at everything that comes in the package, all the airflow inserts, everything that you get with it. Then we're actually going to use some of the coils they provided. So it should come out to 0.45. So we'll use more of a restrictive direct lung insert in this. Thought about also building an MTL as well. Might do that kind of at the end if we have time. But starting out, we'll just do this one build, kind of talk about it, tell you guys what I like, what I don't like about it, usual kind of review stuff. Also, we are going to build up the original Blaze RTA, one of my favorite RTAs of all time. Absolutely love that thing. Then we're also going to build up the Fatality M25 Remastered. Absolutely my favorite RTA of all time. And then we're going to build up the Osiris Mini with the glass extension kit on it. And I'll show the extension kit and all that jazz. I've actually had it for a while and never used it just because I don't really bust out RTAs too often. And I got it because even with the bubble glass on, I thought, man, this thing burns through liquid like nobody's business. So yeah, got the extension kit, then just never used it. Put it on today for the first time, so this will all be kind of a first go for me. All right, sorry, my wife there opening the door so it's not so foggy in here. But all right, do smorgasbord starting out. So got kind of the usual suspects here recently. The Anunnaki on top of the Ampere 21. I still love this RTA. It is easily in my top 2 or 3 RTAs probably ever. Got my vanilla custard recipe in here. On all the flavors, it's just Sorteal's vanilla custard. I have Blaze Pro at 1. It's a perfect 2 is 2. I don't follow that one. Sorry, brother. Couldn't decide on the black or stainless steel Anunnaki, so I got both. Yeah, I've got 2 of the black ones, and I really want one of the stainless steel ones, just because I think it would look amazing on the stainless steel sidekick that I have, or on the stainless steel Dreamer that I have as well. But yeah, got that going on. Still have the Recoil R3. Switched it over to the Dreamer in green and black from the Keen, just because you guys already know I'm a huge Dreamer mech fan. Not the hardest hitting or even the greatest mech of all time, but for some reason I just really, really dig it. Got my grape happy drink in there. It's basically kind of a mix between a grape soda and a grape slushy or icy. Then still rocking the Avalanche V3 with the Nightmare V2 on top. Have my Blue Raspberry Lemonade, the version 2 in here. Then still rocking this one too. The Drop a 1.5 on top of the Trishul V2. Kept calling it the Drop V2 when we built it up last, because I mean, that's really what it was. But technically, it's called the Drop 1.5. And using my Midnight Milkshake recipe. This is kind of a milkshake recipe like you might make at home. I called it Midnight Milkshake because I used to have these weird milkshake cravings in the middle of the night. I'd wake up and I would go make a milkshake just by hand, just milk, vanilla ice cream. I usually too much milk in it, and that's kind of what I was going for with this one, a milk heavy milkshake. And yeah, I really, really dig this recipe. And I dig the Trishul V2. It's just kind of one of those that sits over on the shelf and I don't think about it. I really don't know why I don't think about it, but then every time I kind of pick it up, throw something on it, I fall in love with it all over again. I love the magnetic switch on this thing. So got my stainless steel Anunnaki on the 28mm Kennedy. I bet that's a damn good pairing right there. Have you tried Demon Killer flame coils? Running them at the moment in the Blaze Max Pro RTA. I've never even heard of Demon Killer flame coils, but I like the name. I would definitely say that. Sub-ohm enthusiast, retro vapes, what's going on? All right, and as usual, got the Snowdrift with the Nitrous 22 global version on top. My other Blue Raspberry Lemonade. So basically I've got my original one in here, and then in this one I have my V2 version. Only reason I did a V2 was because with this one, it's got a couple of flavors in it that are kind of hard to find. Main one being Perillum Sour Raspberry Candy. I do know of one place that still actually has it, but it costs a pretty penny to get it. And then also, Vape Train Sour Lemon, which is not hard to find. It's just, if you're in the States, it's expensive to get. But I already had a ton of Vape Train Sour Lemon, probably my favorite lemon out there, that or FE lemon. And yeah, so both of those being in here kind of makes it a little difficult to mix if you don't already have those flavors. But the V2 X's both of those out and uses Bull City Flavors new Blue Raspberry flavor with Wonder Flavor Sour Blue Raspberry Candy, a little bit of Flavor Lemonade, and I can't remember what the other. Actually, it might have Vape Train Sour Lemon still in it, because that's like my favorite lemonade combo is Flavor Lemonade with a little bit of Vape Train Sour Lemon. Or I guess now they're technically called Impact flavors instead of Vape Train. Have you played with Ultimate Lemon yet? Yeah, I have. I dig Ultimate Lemon a lot. There was a point with that I was like, I think I like this better than FE Lemon, which was kind of mind-blowing. And then over time using it, I kind of, certain recipes I had with it, I was like, let me replace it with FE Lemon and see how I like it better. In almost every case, I liked FE Lemon in the recipe better, but I still really dig it. And I would use Ultimate Lemon over FE if I want a little bit of kind of that zesty, that lemon zest there kind of on the aftertaste. I'll go with Ultimate Lemon over FE Lemon because FE Lemon tends to be a little softer than Ultimate Lemon. But still, I'd say Sour Lemon, FE Lemon, what other lemon? Probably Ultimate Lemon after that. Maybe my 3 favorite lemons to use. All right, so what else do we got going on? Not a whole lot. We can jump down into the Blaze MTL RTA here in just a second. Let me move some of this stuff around. Just got the new TPA lemons that I still haven't played with and need to. The TPA lemon candy, or lemon, yeah, I think it's just lemon candy. That one's pretty good. I wish it was a little stronger. It's kind of weak. And it's one of those that the more you push it up, the saturation doesn't really explode on it. It kind of stays a little thin, but mixed with other lemons, I really dig it mixed with Capella's lemon drop. It makes a great lemon candy, those two kind of mixed together. 6-wrap came out to 0.12 3mm ID. That's those Demon Killer flame coils. I'm going to have to look those up just on the name alone. Took a picture of the stainless steel Anunnaki on the sidekick for you. Hell yeah, you can post that to Instagram for me to see? Because I definitely want to see what that looks like. I'm sure it looks great. I'll tell you one thing, the stainless steel turnstone on the sidekick looks absolutely amazing. Same with the silvered Ampere 21. But the review has it on both of those, so you'll be able to see that in the review. Let me move some of this stuff out of our way so we can take a look at the Blaze MTL RTA. As I've said a million times, I'm not huge on MTL. It does help with MTL if I up the nicotine content, but overall, I don't know. It's not enough vapor production for me. So here's the package that the Blaze MTL RTA comes in. Obviously, it's a 22mm. And yeah, that's about all I'm going to show you of the outside of the package. Just because, YouTube is the way YouTube is. So it comes in a tin here. Of course, Thundercloud Mike Vapes, the ones responsible for this RTA. Then I kind of love the whole presentation here. Now, this drip tip comes on it, and then is it this one? Yeah, and then this drip tip is just kind of tucked away in here. Well, actually, like that when you get it. And this one, if I can get it out, is screwed onto this little 510 kind of adapter deal. But I have a different 510 on it. And then you have 2 different versions of the glass. They are both straight glass. So you've got the one that comes on it that just has kind of a little frosted section right here, and then it's all metal, which I dig this. With something doing MTL or even kind of a tight restrictive direct lung, I don't really need to see my liquid all that much. As long as I know that it is wicking correctly, eventually I'm going to know, okay, I'm getting low on liquid. I'm never going to hit it to a point I get a huge cotton hit and hate it. So I love the way this looks. So I've pretty much kept this on there, but they do have, I don't even know if I've taken this out yet. Everything is in here extremely tight, so I'm not gonna mess with that too much, but you've got an all glass section that you can swap out for this. But like I said, I dig the way this thing looks. All right, so you got two of these. I'll show you this on the deck. This is the one that comes pre-installed with it. This whole thing. This can come out. They just screw in. I'm not going to take this one all the way out just because it doesn't really have a home over here. This one right here, the honeycomb, is kind of an in-between from at least my experience with it. It's not really MTL, and as far as a restrictive direct long, it's a very kind of tight restrictive direct long. Let's say Blaze up on the top of this. Then you get all your airflow pins, nice little chart over here on the side. So it's pretty much 0.8, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. Then the restrictive direct longs are 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5. 3.5 is what I have in here at the moment. You also get a whole bunch of extras, grub screws, tools, extra O-rings. As I always like to say, the usual jazz. So yeah, I dig the presentation to this. Like, it has absolutely everything you need, and they did it up really, really nicely. Actually, it's a little hard to get the deck off while it's sitting like that. But let's take a look at the airflow first off. It's kind of a stealth airflow. So the more you turn it to the right, the more it opens up. Turn it the other way, it closes off. So you don't really have too many airflow openings on the side or anything like that. You're just barely letting airflow in. For MTL, I did like it a little more open than most people probably would for MTL, but it worked extremely well. Even with liquid I had that was not really done up for MTL, flavor came through just fine. I was pretty shocked about that. The bottom, Mike Vapes, Thundercloud, serial number, nice 510 pin. If you happen to have an MTL mech, it will work with this. Haven't seen one of those in a while. All right, so here's your deck actually. So this piece pops out where your airflow is. Same as that one I just showed you. Each one of the airflow rings, they just unscrew and screw back down in there. It's a little tricky just because they're so small, but once you kind of get it leveled on there and start turning it, it'll eventually click into place. So it's a 2-post design. Got flathead grub screws, nice big openings, which I dig, even though probably most of the coils you're going to use in this don't even need that big of an opening, but it's still cool that they had it that wide open. Then you've got your wick inserts there, relatively small, but for the most part you're probably dealing with smaller coils overall. Put this on here. But I just noticed, please excuse my fingernails. I have been cleaning the office all day. All right, so you want to take this out to build this just so it's not in the way of the coil. And then I'm going to back this one out a little more. And this one actually. Think that might be good enough. The MTL coils I've been using in this come out of this pack is Ancient. It is a Coilology MTL coil pack. So I tried it in MTL with the MTL fuse Claptons coming out to 0.8, and also did the 0.68 stapled. and both were really good. I think I like the stapled a little bit better, but the 0.8 was damn good. By the time I tried the 0.8, I had mixed up a liquid that was more designed for MTL, a little more saturation to it. But we're gonna go make sure I'm not gonna get in trouble. Nah. But these right here, these are the ones that come with it. 2.5 millimeter, 0.45. So I think the 3.5 airflow pin should do us just fine. Just wrapped some 3x32 by 38 MTL aliens. Nice. Oh, I'm just going to cut you open. I really hate these bags because it takes me forever to undo the little Ziploc top portion of it. So with this, you don't need to pre-cut your leg leads, anything like that. Very, easy to get this in here and then cut your leg leads. You definitely want to get it pretty damn close to the post, if not right up on there, and then kind of pull it out some once you've got it tightened down, which is usually what I've been doing. With the MTL coils, I had to, I don't really do MTL or small coils, and it's been forever since I've done round wire. So I actually snipped them by tightening them down too much. Those 0.8s, yeah, I completely chopped them in half. All right, hang on just a second. Let's take a look. There's that glass section. This kind of comes off. Then you just tighten it back up. Your chimney, just to show you guys. Your fill port, well, I'll show it to you when I got it back on the deck, but it's kind of a quarter turn quick release, the usual jazz these days. Vintage coilology right there. Yeah. I think I got those back in 2017, 2018. Turn this thing way down. All right, we'll make sure we've got these tightened up good enough. Not gonna clamp down and bust them like I did those MTL coils. Then I kind of want to look where it's sitting as far as the airflow. That's about perfect. We'll just straighten it up. I might drop it a little bit. If I do, not by much. No, I think that's about perfect. All right. think it's looking pretty good. Actually turned out a nice shade of blue. Not really expecting that out of just the straight up out of the package coils, but it's always nice when it happens. All right, grab some cotton. We're going to use our Pro Vape cotton. Now I'm out of the 2.5 millimeter, so we'll have to tear a little bit off of this. I think that's good. Now you don't need a whole lot. I noticed like Mike Vapes was cutting it like right to the deck. So that's generally what I've been doing. I did cut it shorter one time and it still worked just fine. Actually, this one probably a little too long. There we go. And then I've actually been kind of thinning them out at least a little bit. Nothing crazy. A little under action from Mike Vapes. So I love MTL. However, I had to find the right juice to really enjoy it. That's very true. You need a higher saturation of flavor for an MTL liquid, and you probably should go higher with your nicotine. Otherwise, it's just not going to be the same at all. This is going to be tasty. I need to pick one up. I'm actually glad now that I have it that Thundercloud reached out about it if I was interested in collaborating about it, which was the first time Thundercloud had actually reached out to me about anything. They knew I had reviews of a couple of their things and I'd done live streams about it. A lot of their products, but it was the first time they really reached out and said, hey, so thank you to them for that. And if you're new to the channel and you're like, what the hell is he doing right now? I'm finicky with my wicks. I'm sorry, especially with RTAs. There we go. I think that's good. Looks pretty good. It's not too thick in there, I don't think. All right, we're going to use my pink lemonade. Now, I kind of upped this one a little bit. Got a little more nicotine than usual. Let's see what our coil came out to. 0.41. Supposed to be what, 4.5. So yeah, it's close enough. Get all that cotton out of the way. And this thing wicks actually really well. I was surprised. It kind of made me realize, I said this before over on Instagram, but it kind of made me realize I need to try more MTL RTAs, because like MTL does not, it's never been my jam, but most of my experience with it, that looks pretty damn good. Comes from back in the day, Sigalikes, cartomizers, pod systems, and then Boros, or MTL RTAs, which I absolutely loathe. So yeah, I've tried a couple of MTL RTAs, but it was a while back, and it was at a stage that I didn't really like any RTAs because I thought the flavor was nowhere close to an RTA, so I was pretty much out. So there you go. Quarter turn quick release. Big, huge fill holes for how small this thing is. Oop. It's taking a while because I was trying to be overly careful. It's not the best tip on that bottle for filling an RTA this small. All right. So with the airflow on this, like I said, you're kind of going to turn it reverse. I'm going to go ahead and open it all the way up and see how it does. But let's jump back up. All right. All right, what's going on? Let's see. Brian Enoch, what's going on, brother? Definitely need to up wattage on this. Let's try it right about there. That's really good. Now, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with All the Flavors website and how if you take a recipe, you can kind of multiply the flavorings. It'll keep all the ratios between the flavors, but it'll just up them. Well, I did my pink lemonade, upped it by, I think it was like 2.5, and then turned it from a 1.5 milligram to a 6 milligram, and I really enjoy it out of this. Even at 0.41 with a 3.5 millimeter airflow pin in this thing, you get plenty of vapor production. Honestly, I think I could probably turn it down some and almost get like a heavy MTL pull. Let's see. Yeah. Almost need to do it even more. How close down I gotta be? Probably right there. Yeah, it's definitely a loose MTL, but I really like it with this. So basically 0.4 wide open. No cotton taste to it at all. Totally getting pink lemonade out of this. It is, even with it being kind of more geared toward an MTL, it's less saturated, of course, than if I was vaping it out of an RTA or an RTA, but it's still very enjoyable. And I really like the pull on it. I think that's a big thing with this RTA for me, is regardless of if I'm doing MTL or restrictive direct lung out of this, I dig the pull off of it. And usually with MTL, I'm not super big on the pull, but for some reason with this particular MTL RTA, I like the pull off of it. I don't know what they've done different, but man, yeah, for sure. As far as this coil, if I wanted to do MTL with this, I would definitely need to change the pin out and definitely a different coil. But yeah, I still like the way they've done the airflow. And for like restrictive direct lung, I definitely want it open. Even with the 3.5 millimeter pin, if I've got it too closed off, like, but yeah, you're completely right, Bertie. Pin makes more of a difference than this airflow adjustment does. So here's wide open. That's where I've been vaping this so far. And then I kind of turned it down to about there, and it's still, it's just a little bit tighter. Even by closing it off that much, it's only a little bit tighter. I had to practically close it off completely to really try and pull an MTL pull out of this thing. But the pin, changing the pin out and the coil would be a much better solution to that. But wide open with this at 0.4, I really dig. The only thing about the Blaze MTL with the restrictive direct lung airflow, you go through a tank pretty fast. You go through a tank pretty fast with either or. Even when I had the 0.8, and I burned through juice way quicker than I thought I would. Not as quick as I will with this, I'm sure. Or I had it was a 0.5 coil. I think it actually came up to like 0.48. But I burned through juice pretty fast. I think it's so small. The tank itself is so small. I mean, that much vapor production off this, yeah, you're gonna burn through that little bit of liquid. But kind of my thing with RTAs in general is I burn through liquid so quick. Sometimes they just annoy me for that alone. But I dig this one a lot. Like I said, I'm kind of shocked how much I actually enjoy this thing, because I'm not an MTL or restrictive direct. It's the whole reason I don't really dig boros. I don't dig restrictive direct lung or MTL all that much. But this pulls off restrictive direct lung better than probably 90% of the boro bridges I've tried. Making me want to hit my non-existent cart right now. All right, so yeah. I dig the look of it too. I think it just looks extremely cool. With the glass on it, to me, it looks like a lot of other RTAs, but I dig it with kind of the metal tank on it. Plus, I'm not so worried about dropping it and it breaking on me or anything like that. Running a 0.5 with the 3 millimeter airflow pin at 25 watts. I think that's about what I was running it at with the 0.48. Let's try going up some. See how it handles it. Make sure I still got juice. Yeah. Handles 30 watts good. It's pretty crackly too. I was not expecting that. I'm gonna nick myself out with this 6 milligram. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this RTA, which is weird. Well, it's not weird. I won't say it's weird. It's rare that I really, really like an RTA, but this one I do. It kind of Thundercloud has proved again they know what they're doing. I'm going to switch this over to what the mod I've actually been vaping this on, which is the Paramore side-by-side. It's another thing about this one I really dig. Is it looks sick on a side-by-side. It's tall enough for any side-by-side out there. I don't have one of the, what was Sam's, the Parson, but I bet it would look killer on that as well. This thing, one thing I don't like about this is the original Paramore, where the buttons are kind of like flipped to what you would expect with the screen being sideways. But if you hold the button down to increase the wattage, it starts out slow and then suddenly you're 4 or 5 watts up. And it's like, what? Slow down. Paramore coming with the Blaze. I really need to order one of those orange and black ones. So they've got orange, I think it's orange and stainless steel. Yeah, this is really good. I dig it. And I dig it on a side-by-side. And there's not many tanks that I've got that fit on a side-by-side like really well. So it's just, that's kind of cool to have that. I can use the few side-by-sides I have a lot easier. All right, I'm gonna chill for a minute and let my Nick buzz come down. David Nance, what's going on? I'm feeling pretty good today. Yesterday, but today I'm doing good. So you got the orange and black one, Tim. I think you said something about that on Instagram, but yeah, it looks killer. Yeah, but better than having that DNA 80 chip like the current one have. You don't like the DNA 80C? Mr. OG Hatman? That was kind of one of the things. I wish they had that orange and black in a version that didn't have that DNA chip, because just on a side-by-side, I'm like, I don't really need a DNA chip on a side-by-side, but okay. Handles 70 watts, brilliant. Wait, what does? Oh, you're talking about this handles 70 watts, brilliant. What'd you stick in it, Birdman? I mean, there's enough room to put something lower for sure. All right, I want to do the Osiris next. And we'll take a look at the kit for it. So yeah, this is the extension glass on it. One thing about the Osiris Mini that I was kind of bummed about was just you burnt through liquid really quick. So yeah, when they came out with this, I grabbed it and then never used it because I just kind of quit using the Osiris. So it has an extended, here's the original glass. So yeah, much shorter. And it does come with straight glass version, but I went with bubble glass just because it doesn't look horrible. I've noticed like if it's a longer bubble glass, I don't tend to mind it so much. Like the other two that we're going to build are bubble glass as well, mainly just because if I'm going to use an RTA, I want more liquid. So yeah, but one of the things with this that I love is kind of the whole juice flow control deal. I love RTAs that have juice flow control. So yeah, the extension, like I dig too that it's got all these different colors with it, and I guess that's just all the colors the Osiris came out with. But like if I've got a black one, I can kind of swap around other colors. I don't know if I'll ever use the rainbow. It's almost more blue, but then kind of the purpley. But maybe if I had a particular drip tip, it's not really gonna, well, yeah, it'll show through pretty well. You can kind of see where the seam is right there to it. So yeah, I guess it would be cool if I had maybe a stainless steel or this shiny stainless steel instead of the brushed, and maybe a stainless steel drip tip of some kind, or the gold, vice versa. But overall, I likely never use those. I will probably try the extended straight glass at some point. So with this one, got this whole locking deal on the base. If you're familiar with this, it can sometimes be a pain in the ass if you haven't used it in forever and you forget that it has this, you know, like I did. So I'm sitting there just trying to turn the hell out of them. Like, I know it just pops out of there. And yeah, it was completely locked. So yeah, O is open. F is, I don't know. I don't know what that is supposed to be. Here we go. And I'm untightening this. Here is the deck. You do not have a whole lot of wick well space. You kind of have a wick well for each individual wick, which is kind of cool. But I've noticed with this one, you really kind of need to thin your wicks out pretty well, just because just not a lot of space in there. I'm going to try and, I didn't realize this was still so wet. I had all these laid out to dry overnight, and this one did not dry as quickly as all the other ones did, apparently. Should have gotten this extension. I have two 35s and four 30 millimeters. Damn, you must like this RTA if you got that many of them. But yeah, the extension kit's cool. I don't know if I got it direct from Vapors Cloud. I don't know if they still have any. Running the Osiris 30 right now. Great vape. Yeah, they are. It's a killer RTA. All the ones I'm building today are ones that I really, really like. So yeah, this one is definitely one of them. I like I've got the 30 millimeter as well. I dig it. I just like the flavor off the 25 better. It's the main reason. And what do I want to use? What liquid do I want to use with this one? I'll think about it while I'm doing this. So it has channels for these flatheads, but they're so open. They're not the usual kind of channels that I like. How backed out are these? Pretty backed out. I think we'll be good. So yeah, I mean, you kind of get it in there. Your screwdriver still kind of falls around everywhere if you're not careful. Or if you're like me and you've got shaky hands. Seen that they have an issue with the juice leaking through the bottom switch, the bottom of the deck. Haven't had too much issue with that. Now, if you let it sit forever, or you don't close it, you don't lock it, that can happen. For sure. But if you lock it and you don't just leave it sitting with juice in it forever, I really didn't have an issue with it. Not until I set it aside and it still had liquid in it and I forgot about it and came back to it and I had it unlocked. Then I kind of played with that idea for a little while. So we're going to use some frame staples here. They should come out to about 0.11. It should be pretty good for this one. So I cut these at 5. I'm essentially kind of slamming them to the deck. Might not be able to do that with this one. Yeah, I can. We'll see if this works. All right. Turn this up some. We'll see how well this works. I've done this before where you just slam it to the deck, and the flavor off this thing was great. These are a little big for this, but I think it'll work. That's better. So it came out to 0.09 before we started pulsing and pinching. So I think it should come out right around 0.1, 0.11. All right. That's coming out to 0.12, so close enough in my book. Or wait, these might, let me see. Oh, no, these should come out to 0.15. So they're coming out to 0.12, probably because we've got them so short. All right. Good to know. Thinking about getting the 30 millimeter Osiris. Cloud Chucker, what's going on, brother? Yeah, as far as like the leaking, especially through that lock, I had it happen with the 30 millimeter. I have not had it happen with the Mini, the 25. But I don't think I've ever really left the 25 with just a bunch of liquid in it for a long period of time, like forgotten that I've got liquid sitting in it. All right. So you don't need a lot of wicks at all for this. I'm going to cut this one a little bit longer. Kind of pull through. Think that ought to work. They may actually be a little too long, honestly. Then we're going to thin them out. Like I said, I always thin them out pretty good. Do a little under action. And I'm going to try them without kind of cutting the edges. Yeah, I think these are much too long. Let's pop these out of here. Rake that one out some and cut these a little more. I think I needed to cut these even shorter for real. That one's good. They look awful the way this is going, but they're not in there super tight. All right, I think we're going to try it. Yeah, they're really not in there tight. It's just fluffing out at the ends of the wick wells. All right, I'm going to use my midnight milkshake with this one. This doesn't wick very well. I will not be surprised. But like I said, they're not super tight in there. You can barely touch and move them around. They just look wild. All right, let's give this a go. All right, got our juice flow control wide open. Get some of this crazy cotton out of here. All right. There we go. Let's see how she does. Swazzy, what's going on? Surprised they didn't size the clip for 30 millimeters. Definitely got to turn the wattage up. Does anyone in the chat or have the clip from Vapors Cloud? The clip. Yeah, they are very close, but Cloud Sucker, but yeah, they. It's working great. Flavor of this is. Turn my airflow down a little bit. I'm getting bubbles, which I'm actually kind of surprised about. Yeah, it's wigging like a dream. Blade was always good for me out of the Osiris. Yeah. This is really good. Should have done the leg leads probably at 6 with these particular coils, just because they were fatter. The aliens that I usually use in this, that's what I do. I cut them at 5, I slam them to the deck, tighten them up, pick them up a little bit, and move them outwards. These wouldn't move too much outwards at all once I had them tightened down in there, so they were kind of stuck where they were at. Had a teeny bit of space between them, but not by much. But obviously it didn't matter in the slightest. I mean, I'm already down liquid, getting bubbles aplenty. I really dig this extension kit because kind of with the original glass, one thing other than just not having enough liquid, it kind of had, you know, some RTAs get almost like if you wick it a little too tight, which normally with juice flow control shouldn't matter all that much as long as it's not ridiculous. But with the Osiris 25, with the original glass, you could get kind of that pressure bubble. As soon as you put the top on after you fill the tank, it won't hardly wick. If you've got a little bit too much wicks in there, then you go take the top off, bubbles go everywhere, and you were good again until you either re-wicked it or took that top off again. With this, it hasn't really happened. Although the wicks in there were not super tight, they just looked crazy. They were a little too long, that's for sure. Don't really care about RTAs, but I was impressed with the Voltrove. Voltrove has made some really good ones. I wish I had that 25 millimeter they did. Should have gotten that one when I had the chance. And I waited, which never good to do with anything Voltrove. Oh, and I didn't say what's up to Mad Stalin 666. What's going on? Yeah, it's working outstanding. I kind of like with this one, like to get the top off, it's going to close, it's going to turn and close that juice flow control down before you do it. The Fatality will not always do that. All right, let me get this off of here, maybe. Don't know what I'm going to put it on. We'll set it off to the side for now. And then we'll save the Fatality for the end, just because it's my favorite. So I know what I'll do with it. I'll stick it on here for now. So this one is the OG Blaze, the Thunderhead Creations, the original Blaze. So I think it's like 26 millimeters. One thing I never liked about it was if you did not use the drip tip that it comes with, any drip tip wants to pop up on it. Not any, there's some. If it's shorter, it's like this one, this is the original one for it. It's a lot shorter than most, so it does fine. But I was really hoping to use another drip tip with it. So much so I didn't even clean this one off. Let's try and clean this one off real quick. But I do really dig this RTA. The original, now the Blaze Pro Max or Blaze Max Pro, I dig that one a lot. I like the one that Thundercloud did, but you had to sand down the peak on the inside of it. like under the deck itself. Otherwise, it would jump around your resistance all over the place. You could tighten your 510 pin like crazy and get it to stop, but I don't think it was ever super accurate doing it that way. You really had to eventually sand down the peak under here, so you had to take the deck completely off the base. It was a nightmare. It was something you never should have had to do. It never should have gotten released with that kind of flaw to it. So these are hex, which I love. I think these are out far enough. Yeah. We're going to use some aliens in this one. And these should come out to 0.1 or 0.11. I don't even remember how deep these are. Let's try it at 6. We'll play it safe this time. It's been so long since I built this RTA that I don't remember what a good leg lead length is. But looking at it, I think 6 will work. Pro Max is a better updated version of Airflow. It's smoother, no deck issues with the ohms. Yeah, they just corrected everything, and it's just built, even aside from the whole ohms jumping around, and they got the peak right and all that. Aside from that, it's just better built. Could have gone 5 with these, honestly. Let's go 5. This is the one I should have gone 5 with. Yeah, that's better. But I remember I pretty much swore off of RTAs because I just did not like the flavor off of any that I tried. And then I think one of the first ones I tried, well, the original Fatality M25 and Fatality M30, I tried those because they came so highly recommended and loved them. But I was kind of like, that's the exception to the rule. So I still wasn't big on trying RTAs out. Then somebody wanted me to do a review for the Fat Rabbit. This guy. So I did. And I was shocked at how much I enjoyed that RTA. So then I tried more, and this was one I tried eventually and was very happy that I did. I haven't used it in a while just because I haven't really used any RTAs in a while. Other than the Fatality. Fatality M25 Remastered. Damn, that's nice. That's damn near perfect. The Fatality M25 Remastered is kind of always in rotation somewhere. The hell you say, DNA? That's better. It was saying they were 0.05, which I know is incorrect. They normally come out to 0.08 or 0.09 at first. I had to tighten one side, and then it came out to 0.08, so I'm okay with it. Actually, let's adjust it now that we did that. I think that's good. They're pretty surrounded by the airflow. One thing about pulsing and pinching with this deck or any of the Blaze decks that are like this, if you get a hot spot, it's on the inside of the coil, kind of down here, sometimes you're fucked. What is up with this? Oh, it's slowly getting there. Kind of have to get it from the inside. Sizzling is water. This one's kind of hard to dry out completely without giving it at least a couple of days. Oh yeah. Now it looks pretty good. Came out to 0.1, so about perfect. Fat Rabbit is a great RTA for sweet liquids. It balances the flavor. It is pretty good for sweet liquids. It's pretty damn good for creams and bakeries too. I really dig custards out of it. Because for the longest time I vaped my butterscotch overdose custard almost exclusively out of the Blaze, but that had butterscotch in it, so still pretty sweet. But also other custards, vanilla, and a caramel custard that I really liked. That was great out of this thing. Said I like the Hell Vape Hell Beast V2. It's got great flavor. That is one I do not have, which is weird because I loved the Hell Beast RTA. This is going to be Cotton Waste City, but this whole can of BP Mods Pro Vape Cotton is just messed up. But yeah, I loved the Hell Beast RTA. Probably one of the few people that really loved that thing, because if you were using handmade coils, it could be a pain in the ass if they were coiled up right-handed. But you just really had to cut the leg leads a little bit longer and you were all good. But some people really didn't like that about it, and I can understand that. But for the most part, at the time that came out, I was still making a lot of my own coils, so it was easy just to hand turn those lefty, and then I was also using a lot of Coilology coils, things like that, so
it didn't really bother me in the slightest. And it made those kind of coils way easier to install. You just dropped them down. You didn't even hardly have to adjust them. They almost fell in there perfectly. Sure, it's nice and loose down in there. First I was kind of like, uh-oh, we got too much wick, but I think we're okay. Oh yeah. We should be good. They move around down in there easy. Not jammed up in there. Hell, that one just about came out just from touching it. All right. I'm going to use my Blue Raspberry V2 on this one. Been on a big Blue Raspberry lemonade kick, if you can't tell. And I really dig this V2. But the V1, you know, I used sour blue raspberry candy from Wonder Flavors, plus sour lemon, plus tart and sour from Lorean's, which apparently nobody likes but me. So I don't see it in any other recipes except for mine. But I dig that stuff. It makes candies or fruits just bright and tart. It's not sour at all. It's sour if you just taste it off the knuckle, but in a liquid, it's not, nothing's really sour. But it's very tart, and I like what it does with candy liquids. But for the V2, I wanted more people to be able to make this version of it, so X'd all that stuff out. But the Bull City Flavors Blue Raspberry, which at first, testing that flavor by itself, I wasn't super impressed with it. As a standalone, it's just kind of an okay blue raspberry. It's got a little bit of tartness to it, but as soon as you mix it with another blue raspberry, it does wonders. All right, I think that's good enough. Looking good. This one, if you're unfamiliar, which I think all you are probably pretty familiar with this one, it's not a quarter turn quick release. It is a full twist off. And at the time, quarter turn was, you know, a thing. I think it might have had something to do with the pressure in the tank. I don't know for sure. I wasn't there. But it's the only thing I can think of as to why at the time there were pretty much every RTA coming out had quarter turn. This one suddenly did not. And it's got a fairly big plug on the top. I think it had something to do with pressure in the tank as to why they didn't go quarter turn. All right, let's crank this up. Start out about 75. I'm going to turn this airflow down some. I've got it wide open. We'll cut it down about 25. Oh, that's good. KJ, yeah, Blaze RTA. This is the OG one. Man, that's good. I can cut this down even more. Crank this wattage up even more. One thing I really dug about the Blaze and the Fatality was you could build low in them, and they worked, they wicked well, and you could really crank the wattage up, and there was no real downside to it. KJ, these, what did I throw in these? Oh yeah, aliens. Are some coilology aliens. They're coming out to 0.1. God damn, this is good as fucking this. Sorry, I don't normally like cuss a whole lot or as blatant as that, but this is good. I thought about throwing, I've got a bunch of Twisted Timmy's aliens. Which ones are they? Still got another set of those 10-ply FSS, but they're being held off or something. The Alien V2s, the NI90s, they come out to 0.08. We might use those in the Fatality. Maybe. That might be a little low for it. Running my Huckleberry Lemonade in the Hell Beast. Lemonade City lately. I think everybody's ready for summer. Nothing like a good lemonade liquid of some type to kind of get you in the summer mood. The 3 millimeter. Yeah, this is damn good. They are the Alien V2s, but they're the 3 millimeter 0.21 individual. But they almost always come out to 0.1, even on a DNA or a Yeehee. Must hydrate. Yeah, that's really good. Damn near vape tap. Well, about a third of the tank. This has some of the best flavor for an RTA, even compared to the newer ones like the Blaze Max Pro, the Blaze Max, and some of the newer RTA, like the Bonza RTA. I really dig that thing. Like, it kind of grew on me more and more the more I used it. But this thing blows it out of the water. And it has no juice flow control. Normally I'm very big on juice flow control. But this one doesn't need it. Does not need it at all. I wish the bubble glass looked a little better on this. Or I wish the Blades had an extension kit with a longer straight glass. That would have been nice.
because it's just a little too bubbly. It looks like a sub-ohm coil tank. Oh, this is way too low. Did I pick up some more nitrous RTAs? You know I did, because I have a problem. Yeah, I did. The Kamehameha one. There's one that's like super sparkly. It looks like it's diamond plated. Better than the Blaze Max Pro? Yeah. I think it is. It's more flavorful. RTAs are winning our poll. 2% said RDTAs. Hell yeah, those are my kind of people. Although I would pick RTA, but I dig RDTAs. Mixing my own e-liquid for 3 years straight, but eventually I had a bottle of Doozy Tropics Blue Raz Huckleberry Aniseed cocktail and fell in love with it. That sounds good, just the mixture. I'm not big on anise, but in some things it's good. All right, I'll set that off to the side. We'll grab the big bad daddy. I definitely want to put it back on here because the Fatality on this, it looks weird with the bubble glass just because it's got 2 different airflows. But I don't mind it because it's just that damn good. Well, let's take it out of here for one. There we go. And this is the remastered version. Didn't really change a whole lot other than the undercoil airflow. I find I like this one better. The other one is like honeycomb because this is just a little plate that slides in and out for that undercoil airflow right there. But noticed I like this one better, which is a little weird because I'm normally a big honeycomb fan. But for this RTA, this one I think works better. They may be backed out enough. We'll do it a little more just to be on the safe side. Oh, this one definitely. All right, what do you guys think? Should we do? Our options for coils are, I've got an absolute ton of the recoil, so they would be 0.1 and they're triple core fuse Claptons, you know, kind of boring, but they're good. Or we can do some Alien V2s that come out to 0.08, which might be a little low for this, but I've done it before. Or don't look at the 10 ply because that answer is no, but for Alien V2s coming out to 0.09. Or we can do coilology. Funny enough that Steam Crate finally did a proper RTA of their aromomizer on V4. Yeah. They called it an RTA forever, and I was like, it is not an RTA. Oh. What did I drop? Dropped my crooked tweezers. Love Fralians. All right, there's one vote for I love Fralians too. Or where are they at? I hide them. I swear this is going to be too low. I'm almost positive. Oh, and I've only got 4 of them left. These are interlock Fralians from Ohms Coils. They are 0.07s though. I think that's too low for this. I'm not going to do that. And I've only got 4 of them left. I could probably beg Liam to make me some more, and he would eventually do it just to get me to shut up about them. But
don't have to do that until I really have to do that. You're gonna run it on a regulated or a mech? I'm gonna run it on a regulated for right now. I'm sure I will slap it on a mech at some point. We can slap it on a mech tonight, I guess. I don't know which one. Oh, I do know which one. Let's just do the Fralian V2s. Do I have a loose one anywhere? Yes, I do. Are there two of them in there? Yeah. All right. It says 0.08. Let's do the 0.08. Somebody's got to be the tiebreaker. Fralians or Alien V2s? Fralian V2s or Alien V2s? I mean, I use the Fralian V2s more. So part of me would rather hold off on those so I can use them in an RTA. Coilology were decent enough when I was tired of building my own coils. Same. That's always what I did. I would build my own, and then I had a ton of Coilology, Alien, and even some of their Fralians that they did. Tim, oh, Alien V2. Damn it, now somebody. We're still tied. I don't even know if I can get the Alien V2s open. I don't know what it is. I don't know if Timmy's using a machine or if he just has gorilla strength. But these things sometimes are damn near impossible to get open. All right. Dave Nance is the tiebreaker. Alien V2s. That's what we're doing. And then we'll oh, there we go. Then you got to decide, are we going to slap it on this 02 all silver contacts or the Chaos from Silvercraft Creations? We'll vape on it on the Endura at first. We'll do our normal, or actually we'll just do it on this. Do our normal jazz of making sure it's not going to short out. And KJ, did you make a vote and then you took it back? Let's do 6. Actually, no, I don't need. I can't remember how deep these are. Not very deep. We'll do 5. Actually, let's do 5.5. The 02 for Neil Pitts. It's whatever you guys want. I'm happy with either one. I love both of those mechs. I've been using the 02 a lot more. Not only because it's newer, but it hits harder. Honestly, the 02 is probably the one we should use since we're using 0.08s, just because it hits so damn hard. Some of you all might be looking at this like, man, you could have gone forward. You could, but you really want to lean them forward towards the center. You want to get some of that undercoil airflow there. And then the kind of side airflow coming up here will hit kind of the back side of the coil. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You're not like completely pulling them together, but sorry I'm blind. I've got my glasses on, but well, not so much blind as uncoordinated with shaky hands. So to get them really tight, I got to get them up in my face. 02. Oh, not just a mistype, but you voted Alien V2s. I'm glad there was somebody that voted Alien V2s. They're just, I don't know. They're like the workhorse coils for me. You can get, well, they're a little harder to find these days, but you know, you get 10 of them for practically nothing. And they've got damn good flavor. So yeah, right about there. Now you can do it shorter. Like these, I did, I think I cut them at 5.5. 5 would probably be a little better. But if you cut them at 4, you can't move them too close. You kind of run into the issue I ran into with the Osiris. Did I accidentally hit that button? Where they're just not enough legs to really move it. And unless they're a coil, you can kind of pick up. Some coils like Aliens, Fraliens, have a little bit more bendiness to them. So you can kind of get your coiling rod in there, really pick them up. But I think that's going to work good. All right. Yeah, for these, coming out to 0.05 is about right starting out. Timmy's coils rarely have a ton of hot spots. All right. Uh-oh, hang on. I mean, it's possible. I have had this happen with these coils, but normally Timmy's are spot on. Normally. Well, these are coming out to 0.09, which is not a bad thing. And probably due to the fact they're 5.5 instead of 5, but it'll work the same regardless. And as we use it, it may... this rat's nest of cotton is killing me. I thought the lower half of this thing of BP Mods Pro Vape Cotton was going to be fine. It was not. Have you seen the other live streams where I fought with that thing? The whole top of it was just wound weird. It was literally a rat's nest of cotton in there. And you could pick up half of it and like unwind it by hand because there was no good starting point for it. But once I got to that bottom section, I thought, well, it's probably wrapped just fine. Nope. Last few BP have been the same. Oh, they must be, they're slipping. It's fine. I'll just go back to a Moza and Cloud9. I mean, I'm always using a Moza and Cloud9 anyway, but I think right about there. Oh, I hope it's not too short. I don't think it is. But I need more Cloud9. I keep saying that and I don't order any because I have so much other cotton that I'm like, I'll wait. Wait till I use some of this stuff up. Now with RTAs, I almost always thin the cotton out. With RTAs, I don't do it so much. I'll kind of get the scissor clumps out of it. But then I don't thin it out much anymore. I used to. You go back and watch old reviews and I'm thinning the absolute hell out of some cotton. But for RTAs and RDTAs, I still do it. As usual, I'm going to be finicky with the cotton. And now, as long as people ask me about art, I don't know why people ask me of all people out there to ask about like wicking RTAs. I did do a video about it, and maybe that's why. But I never have too much trouble with wicking on RTAs, and the only rule that I really have is once you've got it kind of tucked in there, especially if it's an opening like this, if you can kind of grab it and move it around easy, even with just one end of a tweezer, it's probably okay. And as long as it's not super clumped up at one spot, you want it to be pretty fluffy across the board. You should be able to grab it, move it around with ease, and not have one spot that's just a huge clump. And you should be good. Now I'll say that, and this will wick like shit. But usually that's my philosophy on wicking. That and length. You don't want it too long. You don't want to have a big hunk of it there just sitting in the wick well. Which is usually why I'm kind of a fan of cutting the edges off. Okay, what to use. this one, Lord. I'm gonna go strawberry cheesecake milkshake. I think that's a good choice. And one thing I don't do with this one or others that are like this, I don't put juice in that bottom wick well opening. I'll let the tank do that for me. It's just me, really. Uh-oh, what did it just tell me? Now it's coming out to 0.08. There we go. I don't know what happened, but it's probably just the fact that this mod is old and beat up. But yeah, I don't ever put liquid down on that. All right. So with this one, it does have juice flow control, but you pretty much have to turn the tank, as you can see, kind of closed off, and then there you see the wick. Then it has two airflow controls at the bottom. One is kind of coming up there on the sides, and then I think it's the bottom one is the directly under the coils airflow. We'll leave it wide open for now, and we're gonna cut off this juice flow control when we fill this thing up, or while we fill this thing up. QP, in my opinion, is or was, unfortunately. And I don't even really know if they're fully closed down. I think so. Or if they're just not doing anything new and just kind of pulling a damn vape, and they're just until they sell out of everything they have in stock. All right. So we got it all filled up, and then I'll turn it. Big old bubbles. As soon as that liquid hits it on both sides. All right, let's jump up top. And I don't know if that helps it at all as far as not putting liquid on that very bottom portion that gets exposed to the tank. But it's what I've always done, and it's always worked pretty well. All right, I am going to turn this airflow down though. Well, maybe if I can get a hold of the top one. There we go. So I've got it cut off maybe a third on the top and maybe 25% on the bottom. Man, that's good. So now here I'll show you what I finally ended up at. About like that. So maybe a third on the bottom, 75% on the top airflow. All right, I don't know if this is a bad batch or something like that, but when I had this BP Mods cotton, it gave off some sort of alcohol flavor. I'd say it's a bad batch. Didn't get washed correctly. Didn't get washed correctly. All the bleaching materials probably didn't get washed out of it well enough. Just got a Fatality 30 millimeter today. Can't wait to try it.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to try it either because it's amazing. This is the 25, but the 30 is almost as good. The only difference is a teeny bit with flavor, teeny bit better flavor out of the 25 than the 30. But with the 30, you get more juice capacity, and I would assume you could build even lower than this. Actually, I know you can. I've put 0.07s in the Fatality 30 just fine with no problems. Oh, that's good. All right. Yeah, it's still hanging out at 0.08, so I don't know what that was. It was just once we fired it a little bit more from juicing it. Let's just crank it all the way up. Well, not all the way up. We'll do it like 105. See how this thing does. It's bubbling like a maniac. Apex Prayer, that's a good point too. With the 30, you can use much larger coils. All right, it's not screaming at us at all at 105. I think we're good. Give me this. Let's see how Tony's monster does with QP's monster. Well, I guess the 30 would be the monster, but for me, then I'm just barely going to put it on here. And we're going to use a 10 power 50XG battery. Okay. It's on there good. Let's take a look at it up close. Not that. Actually does not look terrible, even with kind of the bulky tank. Does not look terrible at all. I need a brighter orange drip tip for it to really match it. Do I have one over here? Oh wait, I do. I don't know how it will look with this though. Oh, it doesn't want to stay. We'll just go back to this. This drip tip actually comes from, who did I get this one from? It's not Nick's Tips. Oh, from Bearded Viking Customs. I also have an orange acrylic tank for this, but it eventually warped. I don't, probably because I was building so low, using it on a mech, eventually the acrylic warped. But it looked cool while it lasted, but the drip tip still lasts. Oh man. And it's still wicking like crazy. Got my Fatality from Tony with my 02. Nice. That is fitting. No cotton taste, it's staying wicked. Juice flow control, to me, juice flow control is king, especially if you want to use an RTA on a mech. The Blaze and a handful of others are kind of exceptions to that rule, but I always love juice flow control with an RTA, especially one I'm going to use on a mech. And I also like juice flow control just because if you've got a full tank and you realize, oh crap, I wicked this a little too thin, or I thinned my cotton out a little bit too much, just turn that juice flow control down instead of having to, you know, take your deck out, try not to have liquid go everywhere and re-wick it. Just turn your juice flow control down and normally you're good. Unless you really thinned it out too much. Oh, I love that. It looks great.
This is still my favorite RTA of all time. You just have so much control over everything. You've got so much control over the juice that's coming to your wicks. Airflow control, you've got a ton. So you can dial in whatever pull you like, you can dial it in on this thing. I will say, don't be afraid to cut it down. I think at first with this, I was like, I can't just like really cut it down. It's going to go way too tight. It doesn't. You've got to have like both airflows down like 75% or more before you start to get a tighter pull. This thing is built to have airflow. All the way open to me has almost always been too much airflow. I guess maybe if you had some 3.5 millimeter coils that were coming out real low, it might work really well for you. But for me, because I'm a flavor whore, I always want to cut it down a little bit to kind of get that flavor to pop a little bit more. Ugh. All this vaping will definitely dry you out, he says as he hits the vape. Yeah, I love the Fatality. It sucks that we will probably never get another one. Really sucks. So as far as I know, secondhand is the only place you can get the Fatality M25 or M30. Either one of them, be it the original or the remastered, are worth it. I would say the remasters are better just because they've got a little bit better airflow as far as where the deck is, but the change is very minimal. Either version is amazing. All right, guys, that's all of it. Don't think I've got anything else. I don't really have time to do another build. Thought about doing an MTL build in the Blaze, but we'll do that another live stream. Hopefully, next live stream will be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should have the Turnstone RTA review up before then, so maybe we'll build the Turnstone on the next live stream. Hydration. All right, definitely blow everybody out with this right here. Appreciate all you guys for coming out. It's been a blast. I had a lot more fun with these RTAs than I thought I would, even though, I mean, I picked all my favorites for the most part. And yeah, I would say that Blaze MTL RTA is one of my favorites. So yeah, dig that. I really dig that little thing. All right, guys, appreciate everybody coming out. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Hopefully see you guys next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same vape channel, same vape place. All right, guys, as always, vape on.